Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hey everybody, guess who this is? This is Alex, and this is the Ramble for our last week of the year here on GabNet. Welcome to the Christmas edition of Time with Lori. Hello, Lori Thompson.
Hi, golly, if I had a little puppy and a glass of Chardonnay, I'd be Kathy Lee Gifford.
And you got a Christmas tree. Now, let me ask you a question, because, you know, I never had a Christmas tree. Well, I did a couple of times, because sometimes when you marry a Jewish wife, the first Christmas they're away from home and living with you, they suddenly want a Christmas tree, because they never had one.
Right.
Okay.
I read about that, the Yuletide Rebellion.
Yeah. And then I went out, this was with Ronnie, I went out and bought a Christmas, maybe it was Susan, I can't remember. I went out and bought a Christmas tree. And then we didn't realize you had to have a stand for it. We thought these things, so we just put them up against the wall or whatever. So then we went down and we suddenly bought all the paraphernalia you had to have for a tree, which was the stand,
right?
Which you had to put the screws in just right so the tree was upright.
And that could take hours. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had to string the lights. That was another thing we didn't know how to do. So we did that about 5 times, and finally we had to figure out what to put on the top of the tree, and we weren't going to put a star. That's too Christian.
That is over the line. Yeah.
So we put Bugs Bunny on the top of the tree.
Oh, that's cool. See, that's personal. Yeah. I like that.
And on a cross, crucified. Anyway, no. So anyway, that was our Christmas, and it was quite a deal for us,
Yeah, you can still get those Bugs Bunnies on a cross at the Warner Brothers Dark Shop.
Yeah, right, exactly. But anyway, and then I was watching Donald Trump, and he had a Christmas tree in back of him. You know what he topped it with? A MAGA cap.
You're kidding.
Now that
of course you're not kidding.
I'm not kidding. Isn't that how wrong is that?
Well, when he confused the tree, with a tree stand, and so you're just, a hall tree. Now, so he was on the concept.
Now, when it came time for the tree, who did the tree? You or your husband, or both of you?
Oh, he gets it out of the attic, which is the biggest deal.
Wait a minute, he gets the tree out of the attic?
We have an artificial tree.
Oh, that's an artificial tree. It looks great.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't want to destroy the magic, but
it's better than going out and buying a real one.
Yeah,
in many ways. Well, I remember the one thing was after Christmas, all the pine needles in the house.
Yeah, they will hide under your couch for months.
Oh, you probably have them in the house till the next Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got this. I wasn't in the Christmas spirit at all, and I was just cruising around like right before Christmas, and I saw it. I saw this in a big shopping center. They had a Goodwill, and in the window, they had this tree, and it was fully decorated. And I said, I'll give you $12 for that tree as it is if I can take it out of the window now. And they said, okay. And because it was late in the Christmas season. So I took it, got some of my own ornaments. I took photos of all my friends.
Okay, how much did the phony tree cost? I just want to know.
$12 at Goodwill.
$12. Okay, now let's continue with the story.
Yeah, and so I made ornaments that year since I had to scramble and I didn't really have an accumulated ornament collection like many people do.
Yeah.
It's the tradition from 75. I don't have that.
Yeah.
So I made Christmas ornaments. I took photographs, tiny photographs of all my friends, and I pasted them on walnuts and put them on the tree. Oh, I spray painted the walnuts, various colors.
Okay.
It was in my Martha Stewart phase, so we had all kinds of colors of ornaments. Maybe you were a yellow, maybe you were a red, but you could stand back and find your ornament all over the tree.
Okay, but here's the thing. You didn't buy a real tree. How much do you... I found this out the other day from one of my Gentile listeners. How much trees cost today?
Oh, you can pay upwards of $200 for a good one. For a really
I heard 75 for the average tree now.
For the average, yeah. But some of these like boutique Christmas lots, you can pay $200 for one and not be all that impressed when you get it out.
When I bought that first Christmas tree, okay, I'm remembering it as somewhere like, I don't know, $12, $15.
Yeah, which I got the lights and everything for my Goodwill tree and the whole bunch. That was in 2021.
Wow. So you're really saving money with that tree, and it looks real.
Oh, I've had it for 6 years. I can never throw it away because it's like if you're not in the Christmas mood, you just put it up. It's now it's a hassle because we have accumulated all kinds of ornaments that I will put on this tree.
Yeah.
But it takes no time. I took a vase that I had and used it as a tree stand, which works fine. Yeah. And then we get ornaments wherever we travel, so we have a lot of them now. So. Yeah,
you're breaking up a little bit on me right now, but I think it'll clear up because probably bandwidth. If you move yourself a little bit, we can see a little more of the tree. If you move over towards the tree, because the camera has a tendency to follow you.
Do you need me to move more?
No, I just want to see a little more of the tree, just to see how it looks. How tall is it?
It is not tall. I would say 4 feet, but 4.5, 5 with a stand.
Yeah.
And I have it on our brick mantle. So
that's very nice.
Well, thank you for $12. That was years ago.
What do you top it with?
Well, we have a little blue. It came with a little blue star, so I figured that will be its legacy. We'll keep the star till it deteriorates and we can't.
Yeah. So is it leaning over now? The tree?
I might be poking at it, but it's not leaning. No, it's not leaning.
All right. I just want to make sure.
I do it sometimes.
I wanted to make sure its plumb was correct.
Yeah, and plus, if I go to a costume party, I can just impale myself on it and go with Sonny Bono or one of the many Kennedys who's died on the ski slopes.
God, I look like I've got some kind of sore down here, but I don't.
Celebrate
the shadow. It's a shadow. Yeah, it's a shadow. Wow. Anyway, by the way, if you hear any noise outside, folks, maybe you do and she doesn't. It's they're doing drilling and everything outside. They're completely tearing up our courtyard. And
we were saying if they find oil in your courtyard, won't they have to disperse the billions with the tenants?
Of course, they share fixing stuff, and they also share if we found oil.
Yes, yeah. That's how those HOAs.
We have this courtyard. You've been here, right? You've seen the courtyard.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, it needs taking care of, which is some of what they're doing now. They're getting rid of all the dirt and replacing the dirt and replanting trees in there and so on. So they're doing some work on it. But the courtyard is as old as the building, which is
it had a timeless kind of really cool quality.
Which is 23 years.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I have to sneeze. Hold on.
Oh, you would have been right at home on this cruise I took, which that seemed to be mandatory in the elevators. You had to sneeze on Rory as much as you could.
Oh, really?
Oh, gosh.
We're going to talk about the cruise. We'll talk about the cruise in a second. Okay?
Okay.
And then we'll okay. But first, where was I?
You were talking about sneezing a lot, and then you were talking about the courtyard.
Oh, the courtyard. The courtyard. So the courtyard is 23 years old. 123 years old.
Yeah, I thought it doesn't seem like it was built in the aughts.
Yeah, and I have a photograph of it in 1912.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you should frame it and put it in your living room.
Well, the thing is, there are a lot of things that it had like, how many? 8 light stands, in one for each quadrant.
Yeah.
Much like the light stands and they lit up and it was beautiful, just terrific. But they haven't done anything to it. You know, the coping, which is the cement around the courtyard that holds all the dirt in for the quadrants, is going. It just looks terrible, you know. And they don't
Well, if
do
you're
anything
lucky,
about it.
you'll get someone who has a historical view of landscaping and looks at old pictures
Yeah.
and looks at things that were popular at the time of your building.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, so they need to take care of the coping, and it really needs a lot of work. But it's a beautiful courtyard.
It is beautiful.
And if they would
timeless.
if they would do something with it, I think it would look gorgeous. But these landlords say, they don't want to spend money. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're doing this. I think it's to prevent the leakage that's been going on in the basement. So.
Well, they can write it off as necessary maintenance.
Well, because they had a tree in there, and the tree's roots were going down into the basement, and then causing leakage.
What do they do? Do they cauterize them in the basement? What do they do?
I don't know what they do. I haven't even wanted to ask.
My friend in Sonoma is a tree surgeon. He would know all that stuff.
Really?
And we had a tree taken down in the backyard, and it was 3 men. Actually, 2 guys that seemed to be working, and another who was an old uncle who was, he was on the payroll.
Yeah.
And they're old Italian.
So what did you do with the tree?
They took it.
Really?
See, that's what you have to make sure of when you get a tree taken down, that they're going to cart it off. Otherwise, they'll just leave it in your backyard. Many unethical landscapers would do that, but we had it carted off.
But wouldn't the tree just kind of, after a while, just turn into mulch?
It would, but its chances of falling on the house are much greater.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
it's dead inside.
Was it a huge tree?
It was a very big tree. It was an oak, a laurel oak.
A laurel oak, and I guess it was dead, right?
It was just dead inside. So there's basically nothing really holding it up but the shell.
All right. Okay, well then you had to get rid of it. I'll tell you what I hate. Every year they do a tree in Rockefeller Center. You know about that. They have the big tree lighting on television and everything. And where do they get this tree? They send this guy up north to start looking at trees. Mm-hmm. And then they find a tree that's huge, which means it's been there for, 75 years or something like that. And they chop it down and bring it down to Radio City Music Hall or Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller Center. And, you're killing a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
Just so people can go, ooh, I love all the lights in Rockefeller Center. Get yourself what Lori got. Go down to Goodwill, get the biggest phony tree you can buy, and put it in Rockefeller Center.
Exactly, or have some criteria. It would be nice to look at their criteria for just yanking an old,
Well, this year it was some tree in a family house over to the side of a family house. And they sold the damn thing to Rockefeller Center. They came along, chopped the damn thing down, and just hauled it. And that's terrible because that tree had to be, it was huge, 75 years old.
Yeah.
At least.
Can you imagine the inner life of the tree has to be fine. I pay my dues. I get to my golden
Look
years.
how beautiful I am. Oh, wait a minute. What are they doing? God, stop that.
I give you shade, and then you come in pieces for a bunch of skates.
And then you do that to me. So listen, between the last time and this time, you went on a cruise.
Oh gosh, yes, and we love. Let me disclaim this by we love Azamara cruises. They're small. They're less than 700 people, and the food is fantastic. My husband's a big dessert lover, so those are over the top. And it's just
This is AmeriCruise you're talking about. It's called.
No. Azamara.
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 I gotta write that name down before we leave. Yeah,
Yeah,
Azamara.
so many people, and I'm glad we had that experience because then I didn't seem so jaded to me on this cruise because it's the one named after. It implies that you're going to be hobnobbing with authors and movie stars and icons.
Like you were a celebrity.
Yes, much like that. Much like that. Oh,
You can show off your
my
cookies.
husband wants to show you his cookies. I mean,
His
he's
cookies.
been
Oh,
baking
wow.
cookies
Wow.
all-
Wow.
and then we put them in colorful containers and take them to the neighbors. That's my job.
Come on down and get some.
Hey, okay, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Don't have the flaw.
Boy, are we getting the tree looks smaller when he backed up.
Oh,
yeah.
You can see the price tag still on it, like a mini pearl hat.
But anyway, those are lovely baking he did. You don't have to cook anymore or anything, do you?
No, he's awesome in that department. He's awesome at that. He loves to cook. We have great meals. He has not one but two Instapots. So he does all of that, and I'm always surprised. And then he bakes. He took up baking. He makes the best carrot cake I've ever tasted. Sorry, Grandma. And it just is delicious. It's all in the icing with the carrot cake and the 4 hours of dicing carrots, too. That plays a role.
Yeah.
So I occasionally act as sous chef, meaning if there's veggies to dice, I'm always the sous chef. But you have to have a good one.
Wow.
To turn out creative, culinary creations.
Wow. So anyway, where were we?
We were talking about cruises in general.
Oh yeah. So you went on this cruise, which is named after a celebrity or is a celebrity?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know either. I just know it's that kind of.
Are you afraid because they know who you are that if you put them down and name them, that they will come out to your house and kill you?
No, I wouldn't put them. I don't know. I can't say I've ever taken every celebrity cruise. Maybe there's some that are great, but they take the entertainment is everything I wouldn't go to see if I was in Vegas.
Okay.
Now it's
all right. So you went on this cruise. Did it have
Yeah.
entertainment like that?
It did. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was at a bad roadhouse in Vegas.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's the way the spectator feel. The performances are great. I got to say that.
Well, I mean, I don't want that on a cruise. I'm sorry.
I thought of it this morning. It's like high school. There's this cruise director, and they're lovely people, I'm sure. They'd be fun to have as friends. But everything is so over the top. Are we having a good time? I want you to shout if I mention the name of your cafeteria director, because he is aces. And it's just, I felt like I'm being, you can't lead people into having a good time.
It's like going to summer camp or something
yes,
like that.
That's summer camp / high school. Those very apt, and they're always wanting to. Can I see your C-Pass? Which is a laminated card with your information on it, and you always have to, proffer your C-Pass, whether you're getting an alcoholic beverage or going rock climbing. And you always have to. Your C-Pass is always
or riding the Ferris wheel on the boat, or riding the roller coaster on the boat. I mean, that's what I hate about those things. I would never want to be stuck on them.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't ever experience roller coasters. I gotta say, we've been lucky that way, or Ferris wheels. And I don't mind children, except when they scream and demand too much.
But you did. Did you enjoy their version of Mamma Mia?
You put the nail on the head, though.
Really?
That's the thing that it is.
What was the musical they were doing?
They were doing, it was called something that began with a Millennium, I think.
Yeah.
Millennium. And their dancers are great.
No, that's fine. I want to take me to a Broadway theater and show it to me. I don't want it on a boat.
Oh, right. I don't want it shrunk down to scale.
Well, when I go on a boat, I want, okay, this is the old person in me. This is the 84-year-old Alex. I'd like a little peace and quiet.
All I want is a cool place to read. It's by the pool, usually.
My friend Shecky used to sometimes just stay in his room and read, and then he had a little deck, so he would sit out on the deck and read.
Yeah, in the veranda. you will have one in your room probably, and the veranda is great. It's always to your control, which is one thing. But I spent a lot of time looking for the perfect place to read because I loved that had sunshine, that had if I wanted a pineapple
So,
juice.
and I would imagine that your husband, the seasoned cruiser, right?
He is a better cruiser than I am,
Yeah.
and he plans them.
But he probably doesn't like this kind of cruise either, does he?
No, no, we love Azamara. We are, in fact, they're not paying us anything, but we are real.
Well, Marjorie's looking for something. I saw one the other day. I saw one of these Viking cruises where they only have 160 people on the boat. That's great.
Yeah, yes. Well, but you're stuck with those folks, and you find stereotypes of every single kind.
Yeah.
Female trophy wives, guys in golf shirts that talk too loud, and are always talking about what they have. You find everything that I loathe about being human. You will find on one of these huge cruise ships.
Yeah, but on the smaller ships, look at me! Look what's happening to my picture.
You have the Empire State
What
Building.
is that all? What is that all about? Hold on a second.
You're going awry.
I have a way of fixing this. I think I have a way of fixing this.
Because as we've established, you are
here
the
we go.
William.
There, I stop my there, and then I do the. There we go.
Clever. That's how you do it, kids.
Okay.
That's how you.
Yeah.
But no, if your first cruise experience, maybe, but it wasn't our first cruise experience. And I just feel like all the things I loathe about being human are shoved in my face repeatedly on those big
exactly. But so we're going to think about taking some cruises, and Marjorie goes, well, I want the ones with small boats.
Small boats. Azamara is probably the biggest small boat.
Azamara,
it's great. Yeah, and they don't condescend to you. They're not in your way. They're not, they're not that false.
I don't want that. Just leave me alone. I want to be on the boat.
Yeah.
I'll go to the cafe I want to go to.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, and I'll go hiking or I'll go zip lining, or we did have a fun kayak tour.
You know what I don't want to do though is that when they come on shore, and they take you on a little tour.
Take your sea pass.
Yeah, you take your sea pass. They always have this person with a sign that's going around. I've watched these people. I've been on vacation and I've seen these people come through, and there's a person with a sign, so they'll all follow the sign. And they go, and this is thus and thus church, and blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to be one of those people. Because I've had to look at those people and resent them. Okay?
And that's what it builds. It builds, hey, we're taking too much time here, not enough time there. And the reason they have a sign is because at Celebrity, they've slapped the number on your chest, indicating which excursion you are.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want any of that. If I'm going to go ashore, I just want to go explore myself.
That's it.
And maybe I'll miss something you would have taken me to, but so be it. I'd rather do that than be one of the people that somebody looks at and goes, look at those idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. Who wants that? But I was one of those because we did take a fun excursion into some caves. It was on Curacao or Aruba. Curacao. It was in Curacao, which I liked. And in spite of the Jan Brady Tiki Doll episode, when the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii and she had bad luck, she removed the Tiki Doll from a historic site. I did remove a coin. My husband and I have a thing about dimes from the caves of Curacao.
Wait, but you found a dime in the caves of Curacao?
Yeah. Because there was a collection. It wasn't a fountain because this is all natural. It's called the Hato Caves. And in caves, there are large puddles of water. And since people have been conditioned through movies, 3 coins in the fountain, to throw money into water, standing water when you're on vacation, it carried over to the Hato Caves. And this dime, well, it's not even a dime, was just speaking to me. And it was just
so what you did was, wait a minute, you stole somebody's wish.
I stole somebody's wish.
You
so now I get,
horrible, horrible person. How dare you steal somebody's wish?
So now their wish is in my hands. I have to fulfill your wish. If that doesn't frighten you, I don't know what does.
Oh boy.
But,
Oh boy.
but then people were commenting behind me. Oh, she doesn't know how to behave on a celebrity cruise. Da, da, da. Look at her.
Oh God, I hate this. I hate this. You know, we just want to go on a cruise and just take it easy and see stuff if we don't want to see stuff, or go ashore if we want to go ashore, but not with somebody with a big sign saying "Follow me."
That's it. If you want to feel like a cattle, go on a celebrity cruise.
Yeah.
And occasionally
I think there are cruises like this, Azamara you mentioned, that play to people like me who don't want that nauseating experience of being a tourist. You know.
Yes, and Avalon does that. I would say you can find cruises of 400 or less, which is fine by me.
I mean, everywhere I've ever been, I've hated the tourists. I mean, San Francisco, I hated the tourists.
Because it's all,
Remember, I had that thing about everybody should spit on a tourist when they see them, because then the word will get out. Don't go to San Francisco because they'll spit on you.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Because I always found the tourist to be the most horrible thing that comes to San Francisco. And
they're on bad behavior. They're on vacation. I'm an elitist. You're here to cater to my every whim.
Well, this building, every now and then we have people outside giving tours and telling all about this building that we're in. You know, it's 123 years old. It was built by the Astors. You know, so it has a history, a real history.
Wait till your courtyard.
And what do they do? This was in New Jack City.
Building?
This was the building that they took over in New Jack City. Oh, we're way over time. To hell with it. That was in New Jack City. So 123 years. Oh, this was built by the Astors. Blah blah blah. No, people go. Oh, this is the Carter. That was the name of the building they put on there. It was actually called the Graham Court, but they put a different sign up there and said the Carter. I will take cabs. And they leave me off here and they look at the building. They go, "Oh, you live in the Carter?" You know, nothing says the Carter. It says the Graham Court, but that's its reputation after 123 years is that it was a crack house in New Jack City.
This is its resume, our architectural resume.
Hey, listen. What?
No, it's just good to see you, because I know you had a birthday recently, and I just want to tell you how important, precious is a precious word, but precious you are in my life.
Well, you are the same in mine. And do I look at 84?
No, I've told you that. No. My husband just goes, "How old is he?"
Older than you.
Older than you, smart Alec.
Young man. Over 80.
Yeah. I'm at the point where I can say to somebody like your husband, "I'm old enough to be your father." You know? Well, how old's he?
69.
69. Oh, okay. Yeah. I could have been his father.
Well, if you've been really active since you were 9.
Sexually. I didn't have sex till I was 18. So.
I didn't until 21.
What?
So
21?
Yeah.
We were late bloomers, but we made up for it, didn't we?
Well, some would say. Some would say.
Well, I want to wish you a very happy New Year. Let me say that. I won't wish you a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season. And it's the great treat is this year we got together again and started doing these things, and I just absolutely love them, and so does the audience. So
good.
In the next year we're going to try and do something even bigger with this, but I keep saying we will, and I'm just so lazy that I never,
if it's meant to be, it will.
And this has been our Christmas edition, and longer than we usually do. But I love you, dear, and let's get together the first week of the new year and do this again, okay?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's her nibs. What? Remember her nibs, Miss Georgia Gibbs? Do you ever remember that?
I don't remember. I just know
I wonder, what is a nib? But there's her nibs, Lori Thompson. Thanks, Lori.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the great American broadcast network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And there she was. There she goes and went. And that was Lori Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. And we really enjoyed having her here all the time and appreciate what she's doing. And in the coming year, we're planning on doing maybe an hour with her and Chuck Farnham and a whole show, kind of separate from this one. Okay? All right? Anyway, I've been part of the thing was when you were watching that, did you notice it moved around a little bit? What it was earlier today, I tried to get a line that was along the side of the screen off, so I kind of enlarged the frame, and then all of a sudden I noticed that the GabNet was like half down off the page. So I had to go redo it and resettle it and so on. So if you looked at it moving around a little bit, that's the reason why. Because Daddy, you can call me Daddy now, Daddy just never really made the thing happen correctly. Anyway, it's time to go to see our people here on our, well, we've got quite a few people here, so we'll go to them and check them out and put them up on Zoom and say hello to them. Hello, Jeff.
How are you?
Yeah,
anyway,
hello.
Time to go
oh boy.
to see our people here on our. Well, we've got quite a few people here, so we'll go to them and check them out and put them up on Zoom and say hello to.
Oh, okay. Why don't you do that before you come on?
That'd be too easy.
Be too easy. Exactly. Let's see your full face, Jeff. We got to see who the guy was.
You want to see me?
Was the guy who did that? Yeah. And hello to Charlie Wallace. How you doing, Charlie?
Good.
Yeah. And of course Brian Neary, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, since she's not there, I want to ask you a question about Adrian. Okay.
Yes.
What have you told her about Santa Claus?
What about Santa Claus?
Well, what have you told her about Santa Claus? I mean, have you told her there is a Santa Claus, or does she not believe
yes, there is a Santa Claus.
There is a Santa Claus. Okay.
Yes, there is a Santa Claus.
Okay, I just want to know, when are you going to tell her there isn't?
There isn't?
No, she isn't back there, is she?
No, she's not back there.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just
I'm
wondering.
going to turn you off already.
No, I was just wondering, before we went on, I thought, like...
as long as it keeps going, right, Charlie? Jeff,
Yeah.
as long as it keeps going, right?
We never told them. They found out.
Yeah,
Did they come...
She's giving me her list of the things that she wants, and I told her no more stuff until, that, and, both deal.
Which Ferrari model did she want?
She's into skincare right now.
Oh, she's
at 8 years old.
Very nice.
She's 8 now?
Yeah, she's into skincare.
When did we start having her on here? She was like 3 or 4, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I have
but
to go back and look.
yeah, but now she's into skincare. Well, she doesn't want to get those wrinkles.
And then we go to Sephora, and she goes, "Oh, Daddy, this one right here." And I'm like, "Okay, this little thing is like $92." I'm like, "No, I'm not giving you." Let's go to Target.
Yeah, really.
She learns those terms like Sephora, huh?
Yeah, maybe Dollar Tree.
Yeah. There's Kevin. He's what is that? What is
Matter
that shirt?
of time.
Matter of time.
Matter of time.
Matter of time. Glad you can read at the angle.
Okay.
I can't. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
It's only a matter of time.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I missed you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was on.
oh, we
Didn't
just
know it was on. I promise.
we thought
You're
you were
showing off your sexy body.
no. We were thinking that
Yeah.
maybe you were trying to tell us something with the shirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
No. That was a shirt my daughter designed for high school.
Oh, it's very
It
nice.
was one of her performances Well, marching band performances.
By the
2
way,
years
you've
ago.
been doing some videos the last couple of days, haven't you?
Yeah, they had the San Jose saxophone Christmas last weekend, and I recorded all that for them. I do that every year.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it's nice to see that those things go up there, and I get them all the time because I subscribe to you.
Yeah, they had almost 200 saxophones this year.
Whoa.
Really?
Wow.
Everything from a little soprano about this big, all the way
Yeah.
up to a bass sax that
I
stands
was thinking
about
about what brass
4.5
instrument
feet tall.
What brass instrument players do they make fun of? And I just remembered that it was trombones.
It could be.
Yeah, everybody jokes about like what's the difference between a snake crossing the road and a trombone? You run over the trombone. Thank you. You know.
Yeah.
That could be. I don't know.
You're reading
I hear
from
all kinds of
Alan's
jokes.
list of jokes, aren't you?
Really? Is that the best?
was
There was
so
no
bad.
there was no Republican involved there, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, is that the best joke you could come up with about me telling a joke?
It wasn't a joke. It was true. Your joke was horrible, like mine.
Well, this one was terrible, but I hit pretty good odds, right?
I think Kevin's right. You didn't bring up any Republicans
What?
like I do.
Why would I bring up Republicans?
Never mind.
I had a discussion. I think I just had it out here with Lori. Oh, no, maybe I had it off the air with her because her husband is pretty much a Republican. But I said, you know, I have nothing against Republicans. I have nothing against conservatives as long as they are decent human beings. You know, nobody says that because you're a Republican you have to be a terrible human being. Trump makes that a must for people who want to be part of his MAGA. You got to be terrible human beings towards other human beings, but you know. So
He put that label on them.
yeah. I mean, there's no reason why Republicans have to be assholes. Okay, it's not a requirement. Huh?
Many good Republicans. Many good Republicans.
Yeah.
They're
Absolutely.
decent Republicans. Let's call it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Put that on. Reasonable Republican.
Well, Marjorie today was saying to me that, you know, oh, gee, all these Republican candidates have all come out against Colorado's decision to not let Trump run in their primary. And I told her that, I said, well, how about Chris Christie? What did he say? And then I saw what he said, and I said, Chris Christie's right. He's taking it from the standpoint of having been a attorney general and looking at it and saying it's not legal to do, you know, and that should not be the way that we make Donald Trump not be able to run for president. The way we do it is we just don't vote for him, you know, and we do it at the ballot box.
Well,
Then
supposedly
why
it's
do we
written.
have a constitution?
That's right.
The way it's written is pretty vague
It's
because
not vague. It's
from what it
plain and
says.
simple.
Yeah, it says right there that if you,
If you
participate in an
you
insurrection,
cannot hold office.
right? But that's the argument: is how
I think it's item number 3.
has he been?
Yeah.
Has he
14th
participated
Amendment.
in it? That's the big argument.
Well, that's one of the arguments. The other argument is that that could be stated. Some people say they don't know how the Supreme Court's going to go on this thing. And I told Marjorie I wouldn't be surprised if they come out against Trump on this, because they would probably say it's a states' rights issue. Okay, and the state decided blah, 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 and thus and thus. Right?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
based on the 14th Amendment, which is federal.
Well, you know why it was written, don't you?
Because of the Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
Civil War, of course.
They didn't want anybody who had participated in the Civil War to be able to run for president. Okay. And somebody argued today, I think it was Bill Barr, he said the problem with them doing what they did in Colorado is that he never had the ability to go and make his case. And he didn't have the ability to be how do you put it? Have the right of trial on this.
I think it would hold better water if he was convicted of it.
It would, yes,
Right.
absolutely.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
That's right. And he hasn't been convicted.
Well,
He hasn't been
but
convicted
you
of
got to realize that in the Civil War, this thing was written, and people were found not to be able to run for office and so on because of it, and they didn't have to go and get tried in a court of law on the thing or be found guilty of anything.
It says you can't run for president if you're not over 35. You don't get to go and testify and go in court and all of that. It says it in the Constitution. There is no going to court and being convicted. You don't have to be convicted of anything. You're not 35. You can't be president.
Yeah.
But did he participate? How in what way did he participate? Yeah, I know we all sit there and say that, but what did he do to participate in it?
He hasn't been found guilty.
Over there.
Yeah, but he hasn't been found guilty of participating yet.
You don't have to be found guilty.
And that's the part that's vague, is that he hasn't been found guilty, but it doesn't say he have to be found guilty. But did he participate?
Yeah, but
he stood there. He said those things, and I agree with all of that shit. But that's what's so vague about that amendment. I mean, you could say that, you know, if I said, you know, I wanted to run for president, I did something like that, then I couldn't run for president.
Was there a hearing on this where people pro-Trump and people anti-Trump both got to get up and say how they felt it applied to this situation?
No.
Well,
it was just brought up by the state, and they voted. You know, they voted for it, which they can do.
And everybody on that Supreme Court in Colorado was appointed by a Democrat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
No, not probably.
Doesn't
they were.
matter.
They were.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, but
they can do that. They can do it.
They can
that's
do
the whole
it.
thing.
But you know, these people who are saying, like Chris.
And if it goes to the Supreme Court, who are they going to? A bunch of Republicans.
Yeah, they're going to the Republicans.
So they're going to say, screw that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, look at Bush versus Gore. Supreme Court ruled in favor of Bush.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling the Supreme Court's going to rule in favor of Trump.
Well, you don't know. You don't know because somebody may make the case that this is a matter of states' rights and the states can do whatever they want where that's concerned.
Except for it's a blue state. The votes aren't going to really matter, are they?
Sure.
Yeah, sure they are.
But because
we're
if
talking
they
about
it, if one state does it, then a bunch of others can follow suit.
Because in case you're not familiar with this situation, Alan, this is for the primary.
I understand
the Republican primary has nothing to do with whether it's a Democratic state or not a Democratic state. So,
and other states will follow suit if they pass. You know, if they get it.
Yeah. So
I think the Supreme Court's going to hear it real soon.
I think so.
Probably
too.
in the next.
Well, they have to do
January.
They have to do it by January 5th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll get a ruling and we'll move on.
Yeah. You know, it could go either way in the Supreme Court, I think. Yeah. Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, it can.
Turn on your mic, Jeff.
You're muted.
Is there any other state that is considering?
Yes, there are about 6 others, I think.
Yeah.
They're waiting in the wings.
Michigan, Ohio, a couple others.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So it's you know, I just don't. You know, I don't know where to fall on this. You know, it's not that I want to see him be able to run, but I'd like to see an election that can't be argued. Okay. You know.
Yeah, he'll make something of it.
Yeah.
If
He'll never accept the election if he doesn't win.
That's
well,
right.
That's true.
But he will be able to fight it if this prevented him from winning.
He'll make a hell of a deal out of it.
You
He
bet.
can make as big a deal as possible. How many people made big deals before the 18-year-old got to vote?
Yeah.
They did that for decades before they finally let him vote. They were sending him off the war to die and all that stuff, but they couldn't vote.
I'm not arguing with you.
Boy, Charlie is hot about this issue.
Yes, he
It's
is.
I agree with Charlie. It's written right. It doesn't say he has to be convicted. It's written right in the 14th Amendment, Article number 3 or something like that, subsection 3.
It's like Trump talking about how he could do anything he wants as president when the Constitution gives limits on what the president can do.
I think they only applied that amendment, if I'm right, one time. You know,
That's all you need.
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, but one time. I mean, they didn't. It wasn't
They
like
did it for 5 people. 5 people got kicked out of being able to run for office.
Yeah, yeah. But it's you know.
And with any luck, Trump will be the 6th.
Well, with any luck, Trump won't be president. But I'm getting more and more worried every day that we live in a country that is getting increasingly more and more stupid.
So
I don't understand. He's sitting there quoting Hitler verbatim, and these people still want him to elect him. He's still winning all the polls.
See, I think what the media is missing in the polls of Biden, where he's got low polls, is he's never been popular person.
Who?
Biden. He may be a good president, but he's never been popular in the polls. Even the polls when he ran against Trump, he wasn't popular. But you know, and the media keeps throwing out that he's the lowest any president. Who cares what the polls say? You know,
well, I agree with you. The only poll that really counts is the final one that's taken, called the election.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that he isn't going to have a rough go of it. You know,
right?
Absolutely.
I agree. There are too many people saying, "Oh, he's an old fart. He's this. He's that. He's not competent to be president because of his age."
Yeah, but Trump's almost as old as him. So I mean,
Trump is far more incompetent than Biden.
Oh, I think what the trouble with Trump is he's insane. He's literally mentally insane.
No argument there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that at one point in one speech thought he was running against Obama.
More than once. He said it like 4 or 5 times in different speeches.
Yeah. So I mean, you know. Is he competent to run for president is the question. Are any of you out there listening who disagree with us? Because this is a rather left-wing panel. Well, we don't know about Brian. Brian may be a MAGA.
He never tells us.
Oh, I don't know. The day we had lunch, he didn't sound MAGA to me.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, he's not a MAGA, but that doesn't mean he's not conservative.
Since Brian is the only one with a job here, you realize that? The only one with a job. I bet you don't talk politics at work at all.
Oh, no.
Correct.
Yeah. Is that a fiat from the business itself that says because you're an executive or whatever, you can't talk politics to other people who work with you? Or do you just not want people to know where your politics are because you just don't want to have to deal with that?
No, it's just not something we talk about at work. Sometimes, every once in a rare time, someone will make a comment about something.
Yeah. And
then either you laugh at it or something. But there are car guys that have, you know, they sometimes make it clear what side they're on.
Yeah, the 1934 Packard with the Trump bumper sticker. That's pretty clear.
No, the Ferrari with something. So those, I just ignore them. But
yeah, but I mean, are there people that do
not at work?
Not at work. Okay. I mean, I want to know what the workplace is like these days. You know, whether you get into these conversations with people or whether.
Yeah, not at all. Too many other issues at work.
Yeah, I've never discussed politics at work.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're a liberal in Texas.
Well, I always discuss politics at work because it was part of my job.
Yeah, but Brian, don't they discourage that nowadays?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when they used to do the what did they call it? It was what did they call that training?
Sensitivity training?
Sensitivity and all that stuff training. They told you not to discuss religion and politics and that sort of thing. You had to stay in the middle of the road all the time and that kind of thing.
Wow.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was the time where some of the truckers around Kevin were saying Trump is great, and Kevin was twice as big as them, and he pinned him against the truck and said, "No, you're wrong."
That's when I was a Republican.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, but it's just a time where I think people maybe don't like to talk about politics at work because
It's a hot button
Right
issue.
now.
it's a hot
too
button
hot.
issue, and it shouldn't be.
Do it work. You gotta concentrate. You can't be arguing with somebody over politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, we argue enough over football.
Well, I've lived.
Yeah, exactly.
No time to argue about. I got stupid 49er fans at work. I got stupid Cowboy fans at work. I got stupid Raider fans at work talking smack, and they're not even in the hunt.
Right? They never
Gee.
stop.
Then I got these guys texting me during the games. Oh my God. We're going to be 90.
Nobody
There's
does
going to
that.
be a group of us at 90 years old still talking smack in football every Sunday.
I'm glad I don't know anything about football.
Do you know nobody ever sends me texts regarding the game?
Okay, we're going to put.
You
Hey,
want it?
okay.
You want it? You
Hey,
want
hey,
it?
okay.
We'll get
Now
you
you
in.
asked for it. And Tony's on that too. Hey, just
Yeah,
let
you
you know,
think-
Tony's on there
Tony
too.
on.
You
So
think Tony's
sometimes
bad?
sometimes I go to get a drink or something, go in the fridge, come back,
Oh,
and there's
God.
like 20 texts from him already.
Yeah, they're this long.
And he says
One
like 3 words sometimes.
One line.
You can't put it all in
another.
one. They got to be half a sentence in each one,
Oh my God.
Oh.
or 2 words.
I'm gonna
Nobody
be like
ever
Bill.
taught
Let me
him how
read
to
some
do
of his
paragraphs.
classics.
By the
Like
way,
Every morning I get a beep on my phone.
Well, what
I
happens
told you
is
this.
whenever Tony leaves a message, it comes up on my watch and my wrist buzzes. So after a while, I feel like I'm getting electric shocks. It's like,
Oh.
Seizure.
but
okay.
well, as you know, last
Alright, you can barely see. Okay, there's Tony's, right? There's Tony. That's Tony, Tony,
yeah.
Tony, 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 Tony. And look at there's like 3 words there. Tony, 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 Tony.
Charlie, they should fire him. They fire him. He's no good. He's no good.
well,
You know, Brian, somebody should send him the book on how to create a paragraph.
I've tried.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
He's still looking at
I have.
Oh, I'm on mute.
What
And
I
I told
hate,
you the story.
what I
My
hate
phone
about
back.
what I hate about my birthday is what happens. Like Monday was my birthday, in case you don't know.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, happy birthday.
And Facebook puts out a thing to everybody who's on one of your friends, and I have like 5,000 friends. So it says why don't you wish Alex a happy birthday? So they just check something or whatever, and it's just happy birthday, Alex, right?
It comes up on my
This
phone.
year
so
I got almost 400 of them.
Oh,
Well, if I want to go through all of those, it's impossible, right? And
that's why I text you.
huh?
That's why I send you a
Well,
text.
you send me a text, yeah. Then I can thank you back,
You did thank me back.
but but when I have to go through all of these, and I go through all of them, I just want to see if there's anybody in there that I know that I really want to say thank you to. But I mean, it's just
really?
I dread my birthday, and then I should get rid of all of them now. Is what I should do. But there was one that said I have 350 more, and one that said I have 13 more. So that's about 375 happy birthday messages. Come on, jeez,
And you know,
almighty.
300 of them, you don't even know these people.
I don't know 500 of the people, 5,000 of the people who are my friends, for crying out loud. And I wonder how many of them are dead now.
I thought about sending you
See,
a walker. for
You're
your
still a
birthday.
big shot. You say you used to be one.
Yeah.
Well, I bet Howard Stern gets more than I do. So
I
He's
don't
only
know.
got 5,000 too. So that's,
yeah, he's only
there's
got
a
5. He
limit.
can only have 5,000 too. You're right.
Yeah, that's max. It can't have more.
I don't know why they put the max at 5,000.
They're cheap asses. They don't have big servers.
I mean, I got most.
Nobody really knows 5,000.
Well, I hit 5,000 when I was at Sirius XM, And so I just kept getting them over the years, and people drop out, you know. I had one person who was working to get everybody to not subscribe to me any longer, and I lost about 50, but I had 50 people waiting, so it was no problem, you know. But you know, you know what it does? It cheapens the word friend.
Yeah.
You know, it just cheapens it completely. You shouldn't. What friend?
That's
It's
what we
like-
call Facebook friends.
Yeah,
instead of just
another one they cheapened is the word star. You know?
Oh, what about the commercial? The Workday commercial. The so Workday is a HR software package that they use, and they say, "Oh, hey, Bob, you're a rock star," and then you see like Ozzy Osbourne came out and looked at him, and all these rock stars, all these old rock stars looking at him. It's a great commercial.
Yeah, but I mean that's another one that's been cheapened. Yeah. Oh, you know, one that really bothers me.
Genius.
That's it. You hit it. Genius. Because what it essentially does is cheapens the word genius. And if you call somebody a genius, this is really going to be disappointing to Albert Einstein. You know? I mean, that Leonardo DiCaprio was a genius.
Yeah.
What? You know, we never have to worry about somebody saying Tony Magno is a genius.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we just start that? Tony Magno is a genius.
Comic book genius.
He is a comic book genius. But I guess
he's a smart guy. I'm not
richer than all of us.
He is an expert. He's not a genius.
Okay.
With comic books.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what? Yeah. Yes, Jeff.
I used to.
You're muted, Jeff.
No, he's not.
I know.
Don't say it. Don't say it. You know. Yes.
So I work with this startup company that started in Connecticut, and
Jesus, why
they actually found something that was done in Russia, but they never produced it, and so they got all these patents, and they were about surgical devices.
Yeah.
Okay? For like using staples instead of sutures.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked there for like 2 years. Everybody there, most of the people were there for about 2 hours, 2 years, and then they got fired. They just fired everybody at that place all the time. And it was just that crazy place. And so everybody know those people because you had so many, what I would call friends, and they would go one day a year that they would all go outside and have drinks and stuff like that. Well, a guy died about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, are we going to go to his funeral? And everybody said, no way.
Yeah, look at all the staple guns you'd have to take with you.
That's right. He's probably got them all in his house.
Well, you know, what was the other one that? Oh yeah, the thing that always bothered me was Apple with their Genius Bar.
Oh yeah,
that's a joke.
Yeah, but I just feel we throw those words around, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
it's like calling Trump president of the United States. Jesus.
Yeah.
That sure lowers that class of words.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he certainly lowered what being president is. Let me put it that way.
Absolutely.
I mean, did we ever think when he was running that he was going to be that terrible?
I did.
And by the way, any of you people out there are thinking about voting for Trump because really it's just a bunch of bad publicity he's getting. This guy is telling you in every speech he makes what he is going to do when he is president. Like for instance, from day one, on day one,
he's going to be a dictator.
He's going to be a dictator. Now, day two, he says he's not going to be, but name a dictator who on day one was a dictator, and on day two said, well, but I'm not going to continue being a dictator. you know. I often thought a dictator was just a spud that looked like a penis, but you know.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And then I realized it's a Trump that looks like a dictator. But anyway,
It looks like a penis. Yeah. Really.
you know, I always used to be bothered a little bit with people who go, well, he's like Hitler, because I felt that was, you know, giving too much credibility to Hitler. The fact was that I kind of decried that because I thought it was a cheap shot, you know. And now I'm beginning to think it's not a cheap shot.
I go back to the day that he came back from that hospital and stood on the porch.
Oh, yes.
That day, coming back from the hospital and got off the helicopter and stood on the porch. That reminded me so much of Hitler.
Yep.
You remember that day?
Or even Mussolini. I mean,
Mussolini,
he tends to remind me.
I looked at that and I looked at him and I said, "Hope you know, don't record this, but he should have been."
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there were a lot of us who secretly were hoping that
I mean, he was standing there with the helicopter going and his hair blowing and his head up and the lights on him, and he was just like
I just can't believe nobody ever took a shot at him. I'm glad they didn't, but I mean,
well,
I just am surprised nobody ever did.
I think there were a lot of us, though, that secretly harbored a desire for him to get a bad case of COVID. Okay?
Yeah.
Because he got COVID.
And he did get a bad case, but they covered that shit up.
They shot him up with everything.
They covered that shit up, yeah.
If he'd been an ordinary person, he'd have been dead.
Yep.
But he wouldn't have gotten the help or the care.
The Lysol works. The Lysol works.
Yeah.
The Lysol does work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many CCs
cleans like a white
does
tornado.
Yeah. Oh well, you know.
Yeah, I still remember that like it was yesterday when
if you people vote for him, I'm saying this not out of any dislike for Donald Trump or any hate for him, but you vote for Donald Trump and you're voting against democracy in this country.
Yep.
They don't care.
I would tend to agree with you on that.
I don't know that they don't care. I think they don't know.
No, they've actually been at these MAGA events. There are people who say, I don't care if it's a dictator as long as it's Donald Trump. They'll come out and say it.
Yeah, but they don't know what they mean by that. I don't think they understand what is actually behind that statement. You know, I don't think they understand that they're giving away democracy when they're saying that.
Yeah.
But they
don't understand. If you go up to any one of those guys and say, okay, tell me what, you know, article whatever is the Constitution, they'll go, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look at that.
So
they don't know. They're standing out in the street just going Trump, Trump, Trump. That's all they're doing.
Alan?
Yeah, so when Trump ran the first time, he told the people in West Virginia and somewhere else that wherever they mine coal for electricity, that he was going to bring them back and use coal to power our plants to make electricity in this country. And that was the first state that he canceled the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
All they didn't get the mine coal, and all of them lost their health care. That's what happens when you're naive to who you're voting for and don't know what.
Could he just rescind it in one state? I think that was something.
No, he tried, but
he tried. Oh, okay.
Well, he tried.
So why did you vote for him the first time, Alan? What did you like in him?
I didn't vote for him.
You voted for him the first time, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you voted for him.
No, not the first
You
time.
never voted for Trump?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so when you voted for Trump, what did you see? No, it's an honest question because nobody's going to call here who wants to vote for Trump. So maybe you can give some insight of what you saw.
Well, I just thought that he was going to be better than Biden, even with all his problems. No president's perfect.
What? Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. And we're not
better than Hillary.
We're not assailing.
Biden. I voted for him in 2020.
We're not assailing you on this. Okay.
Yeah, we're not. We're just asking. That's all.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're asking you, and then we'll assail you.
Forever.
What
So
was
dark.
it made you think that this guy had the ability to be president of the United States? You know, it's a job really you have to study for. You know,
Yeah,
he didn't
because
have any experience.
I mean,
well,
he's
he
been
had 4
always
years
there
at that point.
Fox News.
But what I think Ellen is looking at is he did have experience, but I can see the people in 2016 because they wanted the quote unquote experiment, because Hillary was involved, and a lot of those people were independents like myself that were saying, Hillary, I don't know, and Hillary was having her issues, and they decided to take a chance on what was going to happen with them, and there was a lot of them. There was a ton of them. And I saw all those interviews, and all those people said, well, we can give them a chance. But I think a lot of those people didn't really take into consideration that there was 4 years that they were going to have to put up with this crap. And then when the 4th year came around and saw what happened during those 4 years, they went, holy shit, we're not going through another 4 years of this crap.
Yeah, and
But
I think
second round,
My vote didn't really count.
but also I think California people don't. I mean, New York people really know him compared to like California. California, maybe some people do see, oh wow, this guy wants to shake things up, and he sees all this and this, and then other people are saying he's a crook, but then the New York people, they really know he's a crook.
Well, sometimes you think that there's a notion that occasionally, if we would just vote for somebody who isn't in politics, they'll shake the whole thing up.
I stood in the booth for a long time. What do I do? What do I do? This one or this one? This one or this one? And I stood in there for a long time, and I almost pushed the button.
Yeah.
Being an independent, I was saying I really didn't want Hillary, but I went third.
I had no love for Hillary, but I just couldn't see voting for Trump. But then again, I've lived in New York, and we know what New Yorkers more than anybody else in the country should have been the canary in the coal mine. We knew about Trump. We knew what he was capable of. What?
And that was my point.
I can understand in 2016 because all these people around the country didn't know Trump. But in 2020, they had seen that in 2016, he had promised to bring back all of those coal jobs. He didn't bring back a single one.
Yeah,
that's my point. That's my point. He had that.
My thought was
he had promised to give us better health care, and instead he tried to take away the health care we had without giving us anything in return.
Except
for
my thought was that in 2020, when I voted for him, my thought was, we know what we're getting. With Joe Biden, we don't know what we're getting. And Joe Biden has always been a man behind the big man. He did a lot when he was vice president with Obama, because Obama allowed him to do that. Good on Obama. That was a smart move. When you get in the
you see, one of the things Obama was smart enough to do was to make Joe Biden his vice president, and I'll tell you why. Because what he knew is that, yes, he had some experience, but he was only a senator. He had no administrative history. Governors make good presidents because they are like running the country is like running a state, only when you run it in the state, it's a microcosm, okay? But you learn budgets and dealing with the police and the military that you have in the state, the National Guard. So you've got all these things that it's kind of like the place to train a president for. In the case of Obama, he'd only been a senator for like 2 years before he ran for president, maybe 3 years, and so consequently, he knew that he needed somebody in there who knew where the bodies were buried. And then when it came to negotiating with politicians, a guy who knew how to do it. And that was a very smart move on his part.
Oh, absolutely. Going into the voting booth in 2020, I vote for the better of two evils, because neither one were great.
Well,
Do you think?
And I won't vote for Trump again, but we're gonna end up in that in 2024 again, unfortunately, if he gets the nod to run
well,
against.
let me say this. The great thing about Hillary, and I didn't like Hillary, but I said this about her.
Okay.
She was maybe one of the most qualified people to ever run for president in our time because she had been a little bit of everything. She'd been the Secretary of State, she'd been a senator, she had been a first lady. She knew where the bathroom was off the Oval Office, okay?
Absolutely.
She just had some baggage.
She had some baggage.
I
But
voted
as
for
a
Trump.
person who was competent to be president, far more competent than Trump. And that's what made me vote for her.
Right.
Brian?
I voted
But do,
for her
do you
too.
think people voted for? But do you think a number of people voted for Obama because of Joe Biden being the vice president?
No.
Yeah.
I think that they voted because I got to tell you. Wait a minute. You're talking about when Trump won.
No, Obama.
When Obama won.
Yeah,
Obama won for one major reason. Gave a hell of a speech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Gave a hell of a
2004.
speech. Good looking guy.
Yep.
Acceptable black man. Okay. If Charlie knows what I'm talking about, he was high yellow. I mean, he had all the things that made him. I said he was the stealth candidate. He was the perfect candidate, and he won.
He
because-
was smart. He was well spoken.
Absolutely.
Well spoken.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
could listen to
Articulate.
him read
So-
the phone book.
So just
Yeah.
to clarify, I voted for Hillary, but then in 2020 I voted for Trump because
Yep.
you keep going back to Hillary and Trump, but that wasn't the case. I voted for Hillary because she had been through all this stuff, and Trump was who knew what the fuck he was here in California. But in 2020, I looked at him and Biden and wished that neither one were running. But I had 4 years of Trump, and so I knew that he wasn't going to just be able to get whatever he wants because Congress got in the way.
Well, it wasn't as the Congress got in the way.
He wasn't.
Trump got in the
wasn't-
way.
Congress, well, the Senate and Congress got in the way of him canceling the Affordable Care Act, building the wall, and doing a lot of the crap he claimed he was going to do that he couldn't do because he didn't have the final say-so in it.
Well, I
I
mean,
didn't like his racism, and I didn't like his sexism.
well, I think that would be enough to disqualify him in my
Okay,
book.
well, yeah, okay, but I
You
didn't know
mind
much
his
about.
lying all the time.
I didn't know much about Biden either. So
Well, you should have if you paid attention because
He's
he,
been in Congress for 36 years.
yeah,
Give
he's
me
been
a
around
break.
for quite a while.
I'm
There was
only
a
34.
you could
so
look
give me 20.
look up his entire record and see what he voted on,
He's
didn't vote
known
on.
for getting things done as well.
I mean, what I held against him was that confirmation for the Supreme Court and the way he handled what's her name. What was her name? I forget now. Yeah, these are two old farts trying to remember a name. Watch this. But
yeah, crap.
I mean, she.
yeah,
That's 3 now.
that's 3 now.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead. He knows the name. No,
No way.
I picked Jeff because I don't know the name either.
But anyway, the
I
way,
can see her face.
yeah, the way he treated her was
Yeah,
enough to turn me off to Joe Biden.
right. Oh, that's why I voted for Trump. No, it's not.
I mean, I hated Bobby Kennedy. You know why? Everybody loved Bobby Kennedy. I hated Bobby Kennedy because he was the guy sitting to the right, or to the left, rather, or no, to the right of Joe McCarthy at the McCarthy hearings. He was one of McCarthy's aides.
I have made mistakes.
You didn't know that, Charlie?
No.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I made
Roy Cohn
mistakes.
sat on one side of him. He sat on the other.
Wow.
Yep, I made mistakes before, and that was a mistake to vote for Trump. But we're a blue state, so you need a lot. of
Well,
people
yeah.
that
What I was
can
going to
make
say when you
mistakes.
mentioned that before, I had to agree with you that you go vote for Trump again. It doesn't matter Right. Because the California is going to go blue, and
Or
it's
New
an
York.
electoral
New York's
it's an electoral college. So they boil all your,
Right.
votes down to like what 79 or something.
I won't vote for Trump again because of all the shit that he did. I mean, the January 6th thing was enough for him to lose my vote. He could be running for the king of the toilet paper factory, and I wouldn't vote for him after what he did on January 6th.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
For that.
And I think it's obvious to any person who looks at it that if he does get elected in, he's never going to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he is going to leave in a box. Because he's
Good idea.
else to just take over for him. We'll never have another election.
One of his kids will.
I don't think anybody would vote for his kids.
I don't think they have to. What if he becomes a dictator?
I don't think it matters. I'm not going to be around to see it, so
Well, my kids will.
We're talking way in the future. Well, I don't have any, so I don't have to worry about it.
Neither do I, so I guess I don't have to worry about it either.
Oh. Yeah, my daughter's got to put up with this shit here in Texas.
I mean, I could vote for Trump in New York, and it wouldn't matter.
No, she doesn't, Charlie. You could pay and move her. And be a good dad. Give her some money. Get her out of Texas.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would, if I were younger. Let's say I were 40 years younger. I'd be looking for a way to move out of this country. I really would. It scares me.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, not only do we have a case of rampant anti-Semitism going on here, which I think one of the people who we can blame for that is Netanyahu, who's created that element of it.
Absolutely.
Did you see the statistics today in Gaza? 20,000 people dead.
Yep.
I'm going to say there's a lot of people that were killed, but I don't think they have a real number. It's hard to really know. There's a lot of people that's buried under the buildings that they can't.
Yeah, I'd say maybe more, but
probably more.
But I mean, 20,000, and then you put that up against 1,200, which was the number in Israel, and you're going, what isn't right with this picture? It's just disproportional.
What isn't right? Hamas attacked Israel.
Well, what this has done is turn the world against Israel. When they were all on Israel's side the day after that happened.
You're not pro-Israel, so why would you care?
But I don't. If you're Netanyahu and you're the guy who runs the country,
Netanyahu is just like Trump. He's another idiot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe even more dangerous than Trump.
But what he did, was create an element of rampant anti-Semitism.
Absolutely.
And they say, well, the Gazans hate the Israelis. Well, wouldn't you?
Right.
At this point, huh?
Anita Hill.
Anita Hill. Wouldn't you hate Anita Hill? No, that wasn't what you were trying to say. Yeah, Anita Hill. Yeah.
I had to find it.
What was the name of the guy who was going to be president, and he was a third candidate?
Perot?
Perot, yeah.
Yeah.
Lift up the hood. We're going to check under the hood and see what's going on.
There were people that were hot for Perot for the same reason I think they were hot for Trump. I mean, that idea that it's the outsider. Yeah, let's go for the outsider. Yeah, I'm voting for the outsider.
Yeah, Perot had an interesting line when he was in the debates with Clinton. He said, making Clinton president is like making the clerk at the 7-Eleven the CEO of Walmart. A quote.
Well, I think that's a little unfair.
He said that in the debate, and I thought, boy, this is a guy that I definitely don't want to be president.
Yeah, well, Clinton was a successful governor.
Oh, I like Clinton. I think Clinton was one of the best presidents we've had in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I just wanted Perot because I know he could have written off the deficit with a check.
Also could have Trump.
Back then, not now.
Trump could never would have bounced.
He was the funniest character. got the voice going and the short. Oh my god, it was so funny.
And he quit twice, remember?
Well, he quit. He did quit.
That's right.
He said that something was happening with his daughter or something. Somebody had threatened his daughter or something.
He was dating Trump's wife, one of his ex-wives.
Well, I just was going. Really, you believe that to be true? I mean, it was some kind of paranoid conspiracy that didn't even exist. Well,
now we got somebody that's a paranoid conspiracy that does exist.
Well, my business manager
running against Biden.
My business manager was really hot on Perot. Which made me watch my receipts. But and I never bring it up to him again. But I couldn't bring myself to vote for Perot.
How many votes? What percentage did Perot get?
I think he got 20%, maybe 15%.
It was.
Get that much?
I mean, he had a successful bid, and he screwed it up himself.
Yeah.
I think he was up around 30% at one point. Wow. And when you're talking about 30%, and you've got two other people running, that's pretty much close to winning.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Because all you have to do is win a majority, right? There's nothing that says you have to win. No, you have to win.
Get the more votes.
More votes than anybody else, but it's not like you have to.
It doesn't have to be 50% or more.
No.
By states.
Yeah. So.
Realistic.
Anyway, what the hell? So I've been waiting for my camera to go out because my camera has been glitching for some reason.
Working great.
Well, it was couple of glitches, but nothing bad.
I sent you a cane and a teddy bear. You want me to send you a camera too?
No, I have a camera I'm going to get here, But
send Phil the bill.
No, it went glitchy for a while before, and then it stopped being glitchy. So I have no idea. The technology is amazing to me.
Do you have a Brio? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now. I have two other cameras sitting here in case the Brio goes crappy on me, In which case I can just switch over to the other camera.
They're well written as to be a really good camera.
Yeah, but there are a couple others that are better now. Yeah, a lot better, believe it or not. But,
they made by Elgato, the cat.
Elgato is one of them. They have what they call an Ultra, I think it's called. And then there's another company, I'm trying to remember, it's the one that I use here, Razer. Makes a very good camera. It's one that I use here, have sitting here. And it's a 4K. But
Bill's going to rush out and get the 8K model now.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, yeah. I'll be happy to sell him one, okay?
There you go.
I'll send him a little box with a hole in it. We'll say, nothing like the old pinhole cameras, But
he's going in for surgery on Friday. Do you know that?
Is he really? What for?
Yeah, hernia.
Hernia.
And they can't do it. They can't do it orthoscopically. They've
laparoscopically.
Orthoscopically.
Laparoscopic,
whatever.
Endoscopic.
Anyway, so yeah, well, I could.
Laparoscopic
is it hurting him?
Yeah, it's really hurting.
Oh, okay, because I have a hernia that's not hurting at all, and it's huge, but it's
a lot of people have them that they don't hurt, and there's no reason.
Yeah.
Surgery.
So, it's so we're okay. Anyway, I'm playing the theme mainly because I'm just going to get right out of here. Hey,
your birthday was on what day was your birthday on? The date?
Monday, the 18th.
Oh, there she is.
So I was born 10 days.
It looks
later,
like she's using beauty products. She looks so pretty.
She looks so young.
You need to get the better quality stuff.
What happened today? Rick, what happened today? What happened? Hurry up.
You say it.
What happened? I don't even know what you're talking about. I can't hear you. That show's ending.
Well, we got to go anyway.
Brian, text me your address and I'll send her
she got her
gift card. I'll get her a gift card to Victoria's Secret so she can get whatever.
She got her ears pierced again. She let them close up before. Now she got.
I have my ears pierced.
Uh-oh.
Two of them here. Yeah. Anyway, hey, that's it. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you to Brian and his lovely daughter, Adrian. Look at her. Isn't she adorable? And
See, look at her shirt. Santa believes in me.
oh. Is Santa going to pay a visit to this show on
He's on the show
maybe
right
Santa
now.
will be on there.
well, if the moths haven't gotten to the suit, maybe we can have Santa on this show on Friday. Hey, listen, thank you very much, Alan, and thank you very much to our good friend Kevin. And good night to all of you. Everybody wave a big goodbye, and I'll wave a big goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel, and they're gone for tonight. And so am I, actually. Stay tuned. You know who's next? Amy Manuel with The Intersection. She'll be using Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Night, everybody.